All right, what's happening, sports fans? We welcome you back to another episode of San Diego Prep Insiders, San Diego Baseball Show. Really, this is the point of the podcast, is we wait all season to talk baseball. Christian Pedersen, and I'm joined as he just literally, I had him framed up, and then he sits back further, and he's out of frame, so he's back into frame now.
Yeah,
David Ring with DR Player Development. The intern Kingsley is joining him. The intern Kennedy, you will hear in the background. On this episode, we've got to talk about how Bodie is ditching us for 2 weeks in a row because apparently he's too cool and too tan now for us. And we've got Dave's Dingers.
Tannest I've ever seen him.
We've got playoff races. We've got division or league races to talk about. We've got
leagues are interesting.
Leagues are interesting. Leagues are fun. Leagues are never 100% accurate in terms of what's reported on Max Preps. So this might be a show fraught with errors. Dave, let's start. You want to go top 10 first out of everything that you got?
Yeah, man. I think this has been an interesting week. I mean, everyone's kicking each other's butts still. Granite is the clear-cut number one. San Marcos is going to be my number two. They've really moved up with some strong wins here. I'm going to keep Patrick Henry at number 3, Saints 4. Henry and Saints have kind of split a series. They had a tie, and then they kicked each other's butt one game each. So it's like these guys are really evenly matched. It'll be really fun to watch these guys later in the season. Point Loma is my number 5 seed. Carlsbad 6. Cathedral 7. Eastlake 8. They're 12-7. Really a strong team. I think I didn't have them in my top 10 at the beginning of the year, but at 12-7 with the strength of schedule.
You could maybe put it down that they are the most dangerous 12-7 in recent memory.
For sure. They got a lot of really good pitching, good defense, and it seems like they're gelling right now. Madison 17-5, probably the most impressive record out of all the teams to start the year here. They're my number 9, and LCC is sneaking in at number 10. They're 12-9 now. And like I said, with strengths of schedule, they usually play some of the toughest teams in that North County League. They're the number 10 team with 3 games over 500. You're going to see a lot of teams, including like a Torrey Pines, or a few games under 500. Lots of teams that are hovering around that mark this year. It's a battle going into these leagues, and Christian will talk about it a little bit here. Some of these teams are beating each other up in league play. It's been quite the battle.
Yeah, league play is usually the separator. This year it seems to be the equalizer.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't want to shotgun through all of them and just be like, bang, bang, here's this. Like, that's a little bit of overload, but I think it's interesting. There's some that I want to talk about where we don't have any conversation about any teams in that league right now in the last 3 or 4 shows as we're starting to talk about, like, who's the top, who's the playoff favorites. And yet I think there are some leagues where, like you said, everybody's splitting games. And so you could end up with, like, a sub-500 Fallbrook is still a dangerous team or something like that. We got a bunch of those to get to. I'm getting my notes here organized. Let's bounce back to you for game balls.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite I would say it's not quite the middle point. It's a little bit further than the middle point of the season, and
we're in the final stretch.
We're in the final stretch here, and I've been looking at some of these swings and giving out game balls to guys. It's been really fun here. It's impressive to see when you give a game ball out, and then you look at his stats, and you kind of see the season some of these guys are having. It's really impressive. I'm going to a couple of the guys that have been playing in some really, really tough leagues this year. I'm going to start with my first one here. Let me scroll to it. Kelly Luck. He's at Mount Carmel. He's an infielder. He's hitting .391 still at this point of the season, man. 75 at-bats, 25 hits. Very, very good hitter. At .391, he's similar to like an Angel Laya, who's also, a guy that's a very high average hitter. I'm going to shoot over to Bishops in La Jolla there. Clyde Cates, shortstop, right-handed pitcher. This guy's got his velo up this year. I mean, he's sitting like high 80s, 88, 89. Nasty slider, off-speed stuff. He's at .393 average. Congrats to you on a fantastic stretch so far here, man. 22 hits. He hits with some power. He's always on base. So game ball to you, Clyde. Aiden Munoz, we've heard about him plenty of times up at Carlsbad, and he'll shoot up north there. He's at a .400 average still, 16 hits. I mean, listen, Carlsbad is poised, I think, this year more than ever to be one of those teams that we could say might have a chance to really contend for a CIF championship. I'm going to shoot over all the way back to Santa Fe Christian, Kyle Plasman, catcher, third baseman, 433 average. They play in a pretty tough league too, man. They're playing the Francis Parkers, the La Jolla Country Days. These are really evenly matched teams at 433. Like I said, 26 hits. And if I'm not mistaken, there's a big 1-0 in the doubles column. So that's a 10 doubles season so far in 19 games. If you're looking for a guy that can drive the ball, he's your guy. Kyle Plasman, game ball. And Joshua Priest, Cathedral Catholic, he's at 429. You know, not as many hits, 12 hits and 30 at-bats, but a very interesting young hitter to watch. We're going to be hearing a lot about him. He's an outfielder, infielder, utility, super utility guy. Extremely athletic. We're going to be hearing a ton about him in the next couple of years. And let's go. Last game ball goes to Gabriel Mendoza out of Chula Vista, 413 average, 26 hits. Man, I mean, we haven't barely played 20 games. So when these guys are 20-plus hits, you know this guy's getting on base. Let's see, I see 3 doubles here. So in Chula Vista, game ball to you, Gabriel Mendoza. And I'll shoot it back to you, Chris.
All right. Don't call me Chris. The only person who calls me Chris is Joe Hines, and that's because I don't think he knows my name. I know you
so
said it. I know
it sounded so natural, though. It just kind of
it rolled off
with the flow.
But I'm just telling you, man, that's not like, oh, only my mother calls me that. The only person who awkwardly calls me that is Joe Hines, and I love him. Joe's great. I see him all the time, but it's one of those things that, like, who told you that, like, where did you hear that?
I don't know.
I've signed no emails like that.
We were doing like a news. I was like, I'm feeling like
I'm saying you hit it right. You did the perfect. If you were the shortstop there, you fielded the ground ball and you pitched it square at the second baseman's chest. But I'm the second baseman, like,
and you just let it hit your chest,
standing there going, there was nobody on base. Why did you flip it to me that way? All right. I want to talk about some league races. And I know that all of this, like I said, it's on Max. We use Max Preps. So not all of this is entered correctly. So not all of these are going to be exactly perfectly, but I don't think that anybody's like lying on Max Prep. So I'm going to shotgun through some names. Apologies if I am getting to your team only for 6 seconds, but I want to talk about a pretty wide variety. The first one I want to talk about in the Central League, Lincoln, a perfect 5-0 right now in league. And I would have said 5 years ago, I wouldn't have just drawn a blank with the context of like Lincoln baseball. I would have said that Kearney, High Tech, I would have picked a couple of other teams above them in that league to say that they are the team. Right now, Lincoln has made 2 playoff appearances in a row. They have gone to a championship game. They are 5-0 in league. Not saying that their baseball team is going to like be nipping at the heels of their football team, but to see across the board Lincoln maintaining excellence in several sports, I think is a very healthy, it's healthy for the whole section kind of vibes. Yeah. Next one, the Coastal Small School. There's 2 Coastals. This one's the Coastal Small School League, is absolute chaos right now. Going into it, I would have said Country Day, SFC would have been my 2 schools that I'm like, the 2 of them are going to be the top, and then everyone else is going to be kind of competing for 2nd through 4th. Right now, Classical and La Jolla Country Day are 1A, 1B. SFC, Bishops, Maranatha are all within a game of each other in that middle group, and then Parker is always dangerous. They are last. But right now to have Classical and through Maranatha all separated by only but a game or 2 is kind of nuts. The Coastal North County one is equally, as I have to hand off a Tevin Cracker, as Dave once called it.
Teth?
Didn't you call these
a Tesla? Yeah, I was like, what is that?
Okay, Kennedy, this is called dead air. Apologies. Coastal North County, San Marcos, LCC, Carlsbad, Rancho Bernardo are all tied or within a game of each other league record-wise, with Torrey and Poway both behind it. Torrey, we've talked about, still could be a championship level. Like, that is nuts. I know that Coastal North County is kind of the peak of all this, but to have it be that close to me is kind of crazy. Wanted to give a shout-out to Mira Mesa in the Eastern League at 3-1-1. They are the best in the league play, but they're a 10-10-1 team. So get hot at the end of the season. Play your best ball in league is always an interesting flex. Granite Hills is controlling theirs. The Grossmont Valley League, Santana and West Hills are rivals, so it is always great when you look up and see they are damn near identical in terms of league and overall records. That should be a fun one to see who finishes out on top, because that could also be Monte Vista. Otay Ranch in the Metro South Bay is kind of a sneaky team. They are 5-2. They are 17-6 overall. I don't think have gotten a ton of love from us. I don't think we feel in the last couple of years we've seen Randy Abshire. Who was their shortstop that they had that got drafted? It was a Camarillo. They had a guy who was a dog. So they've had a couple of dudes over the years that I think maybe they don't have their like signature weapon this year, but they are still good. Rock Academy is cleaning up in the ocean. Escondido Charter is a perfect 10-0 in the Pacific. Kennedy, give me 2 more seconds, and then I will go get you another snack. Sage Creek and Del Norte are in an epic showdown for the Palomar League.
Yeah, that was my most interesting league. Palomar, I mean, Del Norte has been really strong this year. Their overall record 12-9, but they are leading at the top of the
They're
league
up a game on Sage Creek, but then Mount Carmel, Mission Hills, San Pasqual, all could be within striking distance. El Camino at the bottom of that league at 1-8 in league play. If you look at it, they are still a team that with the weapons they have, if you get them into that playoff format, they might not be able to sustain every single game is their best game ever, but if you get them into the playoffs, I stand 10 toes down that El Camino is a good squad. High Tech High North County is running away with the Patriot League. Let's see, Mountain Empire in the Summit, congratulations. The Valley League, Ramona, Escondido, Canyon Crest is an interesting 1-2-3 for all of them. Canyon Crest coming on kind of strong. They a sub 500 team, but 5-4 in league is impressive. And then closing out to look at the Western League with Cathedral, Saints, Point Loma, and Scripps. Nobody is undefeated in that league. Point Loma is a team that as recently as of, 2 weeks ago, was consensus top 5.
Mm-hmm.
And as of this week is still in everybody's top 10, but they are 4th currently in that league. Cathedral and Saints, I mean, like either of them could conceivably win it. Neither of them could conceivably win it. So we got a couple of really dynamic league races, which we're going to keep an eye on, and I thank you guys for sticking with that as I'm taking care of Kid and trying to read stats and not looking at the camera once in that whole 3-minute hit. But to me, that just kind of summarized where I was saying, like, there's like 6 stories there that don't crack the teams in the top 15 or the big home run hitters or something like that, but are still playing teams that are playing fantastic baseball. Dave, you said you had you wanted to talk a little bit about the Palomar. I'll let you go that. I'll let you do dingers. Give me what you got.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like you said, these races are impressive. I think this is probably some of the tightest league play that I've seen in a lot of our years of covering these games. This head-to-head matchup is a lot of this shuffling is gonna really play at the end of the year in the CIF ranking. I'm super excited. I mean, you went over almost all the leagues that I was really intrigued about, especially the Palomar League with Del Norte heading that. Sage Creek is always your boys, and you know they're on fire as usual.
Well, they make it hard not to when Elijah Stevens is like the only all CIF baseball basketball combo we've seen in a decade.
Exactly, and let's be honest, they play an incredibly well balanced schedule also. So their strength of schedule is always up there. It's a little bit higher than a team like Coronado, who's got some. I saw you post earlier in the week on that top 10. They got some real votes from all the.
Yeah, they're off of the did not like they were unranked last week. They are on the board.
Notables, 15-7, and an impressive team. I think they're going to pitch. So yeah, I'm really intrigued about some of these league races. You'll be hearing a lot about these like the game balls from these league games moving forward.
This has been a year that has switched from, I feel like last 2 years, the main race that we were focused on was a home run race. Like there was guys hitting 9, 12, 14. Like that was our race. This year, it's just a league race.
Seems
Like,
like
it's
that's where
Granite's
it's
got the
most
number one
excited.
spot locked up.
Yeah.
So it's not really a race for who's the number one voted team. It's not really a race for home runs. It's just genuinely good aggregate baseball is causing us to be like like Kermit biting his nails gif of like, I don't know who's going to win Western League. I don't know who's going to win Summit League. I don't know who's going to win all these different leagues. And that's crazy to be here. We got, 2 weeks left in the season?
Yep.
Of the 2 full weeks of baseball after 2.5 after this week it concludes. And I don't think you could definitively pick more than 5 races to say, okay, those are already in the books. What do you got? Dingers now?
Yeah, let's
All
wrap
right.
the show up with, everyone's favorite part. Remember when you used to, like, cue the music and we'd be like,
well, hold on. No, we will go back. Dave asketh, Dave delivereth. We don't have any mics for you to hear, or we don't have any headphones for you to hear this.
Right.
But I can promise you we have the it's gone queued up.
We've been doing the show so long. We've done almost every version of that.
But it's been on a slow decline of professionalism since day one.
Yeah, but
we started strong.
But the people want something different every year, so they want to mix. All right, my guy Tyler Maula, he's a catcher at Bonita Vista. He hit his first one of the year. He's been waiting for that one, I know, but put a lot of good swings on the ball. Very impressive player. He's a guy that really extra good hard worker in the classroom. Really puts in the work on the field. So a guy that I think we're going to hear about playing at the next level, possibly. Tyler Holmes, Grossmont. That video of him hitting that walk-off dinger, vibes were high. Congrats to you guys on that walk-off win.
Tyler, #WTNBP.
And all the love to the guys over at Poway, not having the best luck during league play, but Poway's a force to be reckoned with here. Jake Johnson, he's a UCSB commit. He hit his third of the year. Really, also an intriguing shortstop. Good build, lots of a long family line of baseball players. So definitely interested to watch his career at the next level at UCSB. Hunter Harrington, Stanford. I haven't talked about him a bunch this year, but he's really been a huge contributor to that Cathedral lineup. He's got 2 bombs, also playing a lot of good defense. And let's be honest, the dude runs like lightning, so when he's on the bases, man, it's fun to watch. Camden Hoff at Fallbrook. He's got 2 swamp donkeys. I heard they fly a little further out there in Fallbrook just because of the Fallbrook air, but, maybe it's just the same air. Who knew? And then what I'm curious about is there's a guy named Trevor Hoff, same last name at Classical Academy, who's also got 3 home runs. Who knows if they're related, but they both are related through hitting dingers. That's the best part of the Dave's Dinger Show. And the last one is Sammy McNamara. He's at Classical Academy also. He's up to 3 dingers. I think you mentioned it. They're up in league. Listen, we got 2 guys here hitting home runs. They've got a lot of pitching to go with it. Classical's on a roll right now.
One of 2 things just happened there. Either you just truly were so ingrained and like you're just pre-programmed after years of me hitting these little buttons that you left the perfect amount of space for me to just hammer those buttons in at every little verbal thing, or you were looking over here. But I didn't see you looking at my fingers. So all I can say is that was like watching you were standing in the corner with LeBron over doing his work, and you're just like clapping your hands like, I got the 3. And every time you went to just drain. Well, Dave, that was fun right there.
That was cool.
You'll enjoy the clip when that makes its way to Instagram.
We have been doing the show for almost 10 years now, bro. I like to consider myself comfortable at this point a little bit. When I first started, it was, Christian, what do I do with my hands?
Well, when we first started, it was a different setup because we weren't in a studio. Like, we were in your office. We were in your cage, but we were standing 3 wide in a zoomed-out shot. Much more relaxing and comfortable. Hold the mic. You know what to do. You have maybe we got a little too comfortable with the dog and the bed.
Look at that.
Yeah. But, yes, I appreciate everybody who's still watching at this point in the show. There we go. The Point Loma Minister of Propaganda has returned. Oh, and this is the obligatory chance to shout out Ramona. Kingsley, you got something to say about Ramona?
Anything?
Just heavy breathing. On that note, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll talk to you guys next week.